Okay, today we're going to show you a Jones & Shipman cylindrical grinder. This is a model 1307. This is a bigger, more robust machine than a 1300. You can see the height of the workhead, the height of the tailstock. This swing or center height is listed on our website. Now this also is a universal tool room type grinder. The workhead, the wheelhead, swivels in two spots, the base and the center section, so it's a double swivel or a double compound. And what you could do with that is, the way I have it set right now, if you had a grinding wheel on here and dressed it, you'd have the angle on the wheel. So this is on a 30 degree, the base, and the whole thing is moving in and out at 30 degrees because I've swiveled it at the very bottom, so the whole thing can move, this way or that way. With the wheel over here and your workpiece there, that enables you to use this as an angle head grinder where you can grind a face and a shoulder at the a shoulder and a diameter at the same time. We could straighten this out and it becomes a regular cylindrical grinder where we would use the other grinding wheel. The workhead itself can swivel, so this thing has a lot of adjustments. The whole slide itself, besides the infeed I have here with this, you also have a course adjustment where you can move this upper part of the wheel spindle itself backwards and forwards. And then when it gets spun all the way around, then you have an ID grinder on the rear end of it. So let's see, let me put it back to 90 degrees, somewhat. So now I've straightened that out, but this top half can still be swiveled, which is what you would have to do if you were going to do ID grinding. Now with this knob here pulled out, you've got a rapid in and out. And again, if you needed more travel distance, you can move this whole top slide back and forth with its own independent adjustment. But we slide these dogs down. Just tighten them up a little bit. We get our table to move. And that would be the way you could do some automatic ID grinding. We push this down. See, we start to feed. Of course, you could do this by hand also. You have a fine feed dial for your longitudinal, for your table, so you can really come up close to a shoulder. You stop this feed, and you adjust the amount of this increment here with this adjustment on the side. The more you open that up, the bigger a step you get. Now, if you were doing a plunge grind, this has the ability to go on its own without the table moving. And the more you turn this in, the slower you go. The frequency, the size of the increment is still adjusted there, but to slow down the amount of infeed, you slow it down with this control knob here so you can keep up with your grinding, so to speak. Then you have your fine feed dial over here. So this will come down to 0. And just stop there. All right, so let's back this off again. You can pull this pin out to get past that. The machine is currently wired for, well, it's actually 575 volts, 600 volts. So most likely you need some kind of a transformer. We have a 440 volt transformer that goes up to 600 volts, and it seems to be working fine. It has a hydraulic unit mounted on the outside of the machine rather than under here. We have a coolant system with a paper band filter. We have a 10-inch T-slotted chuck that fits into the faceplate that fits into here, and also a 5-inch Pratt Bernard chuck, which is going to be shown in the photographs. Now this workhead here is also a live and dead. Right now we're using it as a dead. We're not turning the middle of the center or the spindle itself, because we're probably going to have a center in the tailstock. We're going to do external grinding. If you're going to do ID grinding, you'd want to rotate the spindle completely, so you would lock that together. So what else could I show you? Uses a 12-inch diameter grinding wheel with a 5-inch bore. And that's about it. That's the Jones & Shipman. This is a very versatile machine. It's an ID, it's an OD, it's an angle head. It does everything. Hope you like that video. Thank you.